Admiral Zexfel stood on the bridge of his command ship, watching the blue and green planet grow larger on the main screen. Earth looked peaceful from space. White clouds drifted over brown and green land masses. The ocean sparkled under the light of the yellow star. Another easy conquest, he thought to himself. The Kethver had done this many times before. Find a primitive world. Study it from far away, send in the fleet, take control. Move on to the next world. It was simple work for the mighty hegemony. Admiral, called his second-in-command, Captain Veltar. The scan is complete. The humans have basic technology. Crude rockets, simple weapons. Their strongest bombs are barely worth our notice. Zexthel nodded. The intelligence reports had been correct. These creatures called humans were still stuck on their single world. They had not even built proper space stations. Their weapons were chemical-based, not energy weapons like civilized species used. How many ships do we need? Veltar asked. 12 ships should be enough, Zexthel said. Maybe less? These humans cannot fight what they cannot understand. The Kethver fleet was small by their standards. 12 sleek silver ships, each one longer than the tallest human buildings. Their hulls gleamed with advanced metal that could absorb most. Weapons, energy shields surrounded each vessel like invisible armor. Begin the attack, Zexthel ordered. The first phase was always the same. Target the military bases. Destroy the weapons. Show the primitive species that resistance was useless. Then the ground forces would land and set up control centers. Blue beams of energy shot down from the Kethver ships. They struck military bases around the world. Explosions bloomed like flowers of fire and smoke. Radar stations vanished in bright flashes. Airfields melted under the alien weapons. Their air force is gone, reported the weapons officer. All major bases destroyed, but then something unexpected happened. Admiral, called the communications officer. We are getting return fire, Zexthel frowned. From where? We destroyed their military. Multiple locations, sir? Small weapons? They are not doing much damage, but they keep firing. On the screen, tiny streaks of light rose from the planet's surface. Human missiles and rockets climbed toward the alien fleet. Most of them exploded, harmlessly against the Kethver shields, but they kept coming. Curious, Zexthel said. They must know their weapons cannot hurt us. Why do they continue? Over the next hour, the pattern became clear. The humans had hidden weapons all over their planet. Not just at military bases, but in cities, in forests, even on ships at sea. When the aliens destroyed one group of weapons, another group would start firing from somewhere else. They scattered their defenses, Veltar observed. Unusual for a primitive species. The Kethver ships began hunting down these hidden weapons, but it was like trying to catch insects. Every time they destroyed one group, 2 more would appear. The humans seemed to have weapons everywhere. Then the real surprise came. Admiral, the scanner officer called out. Multiple contacts rising. From the planet, they appear to be aircraft. Impossible, Zexthel said. We destroyed their air force. Not all of it, sir. These are coming from underground locations. On the screen, hundreds of small craft rose from hidden bases. They were primitive by Kethver standards. Chemical engines instead of energy drives. Metal hulls instead of force fields. But there were so many of them. They built backup forces, Veltar said with surprise. How did they know we were coming? The human aircraft swarmed around the alien ships like angry bees. Their weapons could not pierce the Kethver shields, but they were fast and hard to hit. The alien gunners had trouble targeting so many small, quick-moving objects. This is taking longer than expected, Zexthel muttered. Then came another shock. Some of the human aircraft began ramming themselves into the alien ships. The pilots drove their craft straight into the Kethver hulls, exploding on impact. The explosions were small, but they came at weak points in the ship design. Suicide attacks, Veltar said with disbelief. They are destroying themselves to hurt us. What kind of species does this? Zexthel wondered. The Kethver had fought many wars. Most primitive species either surrendered quickly or died quickly. They did not throw their lives away in hopeless attacks, but these humans seemed different. They kept fighting even when they could not win. "Begin landing operations," Zexthel ordered. "Send down the ground forces. We will take this planet the hard way." The alien transport ships descended through Earth's atmosphere. They headed for major cities where they could set up control centers. The plan was simple. Land, take control of the human government buildings, and force the leaders to surrender. But the humans had other ideas. As the first transport touched down in what the humans called New York, explosions erupted all around it. The humans had turned their own city into a trap. Buildings collapsed onto the landing zone, streets exploded upward. Underground tunnels that the Kethver scanners had missed suddenly revealed themselves as they vomited forth human soldiers. "Ambush!" came the call from the ground commander. They were ready for us. Similar reports came from landing sites around the world. London, Tokyo, Moscow, Beijing. Every major city had become a fortress. The humans had spent months preparing for this day, even though they could not have known exactly when it would come. How did they know? Veltar asked again. Zexthel studied the tactical displays. The human resistance was not random. It was organized, planned. Someone had told these primitives exactly how the Kethver conducted their invasions. "Sir," called the intelligence officer, "we have intercepted human communications. They call this Plan Omega. They have been preparing for alien invasion for decades." Decades? Zexthel could not believe it. "But we only decided to attack this world 6 months ago. It appears they were ready for any alien attack, sir." "Not specifically ours?" The Admiral felt a chill run down his spine. These humans had been preparing to fight aliens they had never met, using plans to counter tactics they had never seen. They had guessed correctly about how spacefaring species would attack their world on the ground. The Kethver forces found themselves fighting in conditions they had never experienced. The humans used their own cities as weapons. They collapsed buildings to block alien advances. They flooded tunnels to trap alien soldiers. They set fires that created smoke clouds to hide their movements. Worst of all, the humans seemed to learn from every encounter. When the Kethver used one type of weapon, the humans quickly found ways to defend against it. When the aliens tried a new tactic, the humans adapted within hours. "Admiral," Veltar said quietly, "perhaps we should call for reinforcements." Zexthel stared at the planet below. In all his years of conquest, he had never needed reinforcements to take a primitive world. The idea felt like failure. But these humans were not fighting like any primitive species he had ever encountered. "Very well," he said finally. "Send a message to the hegemony. Tell them we need more ships." "How many, sir?" Zexthel watched another group of human fighters rise from a hidden base, their weapons firing uselessly but bravely at his fleet. He thought about the suicide attacks, the hidden defenses, the way these creatures turned their own world into a weapon. "All of them," said, "send all the ships we have." For the first time in his long military career, Admiral Zexthel was beginning to understand that he might have made a terrible mistake. These humans were not like other primitive species. They were something new, something dangerous. Something that might actually be able to fight back. 6 months had passed since the Kethver invasion began. Admiral Zexthel stared at the reports on his desk and felt something he had never experienced before: fear. The humans were not behaving like any species the hegemony had ever conquered. They were supposed to be broken by now. Their cities should be under alien control. Their leaders should be begging for mercy. Instead, the humans were getting stronger. "Admiral," Captain Veltar entered the command room. "The daily reports." Zexthel took the datapad and read the numbers. Kethver losses were climbing every day. Not just soldiers, but ships, weapons, and equipment. Meanwhile, human resistance was growing. "How is this possible?" he asked. "We have superior technology. We have more firepower. We should have won months ago." "The humans are adapting, sir," Veltar said carefully. "They learn from every battle." The underground laboratories beneath the ruins of Geneva, Dr. Sarah Chun worked by the light of emergency power cells. Around her, a team of the world's best scientists studied pieces of broken Kethver equipment. "Hand me that energy cell," she said to her assistant. "I think I understand how their weapons work." The laboratory was hidden deep underground, safe from alien scanners. The humans had built dozens of these secret research centers all over the world. Each one worked on different pieces of captured alien technology. Dr. Chun called her communications officer. "We have a breakthrough in Tokyo. They figured out how to power our weapons with Kethver energy cells." Sarah smiled. It was the first good news she had heard in days. For months, human scientists had been taking apart every piece of alien equipment they could find. They studied the metal, the circuits, the power sources. Most importantly, they learned how to copy them. "Send the plans to all research centers immediately," she ordered. "And tell the resistance fighters they will have new weapons soon." Across the world, in the ruins of what used to be called Chicago, Colonel Marcus Webb crouched in a bombed-out building. He was planning the next attack on the alien supply convoy. His resistance cell had grown from 50 fighters to over 500 in just 6 months. "The aliens follow the same routes every time," he told his team. "They think we are too primitive to track their patterns. They are wrong." Marcus had fought in 3 wars before the aliens came. He understood tactics and strategy. More importantly, he understood how to fight an enemy that was stronger than you. "We hit them here," he pointed to a map. "Then we disappear before they can respond. By the time they send reinforcements, we attack them there. Keep them moving. Keep them guessing." His fighters nodded. They were not professional soldiers. Some had been teachers, farmers, doctors, students. But 6 months of fighting aliens had turned them into something deadly. They knew every street, every building, every hiding place in their territory. "Remember," Marcus said, "we are not trying to win big battles. We are trying to make them bleed. Every day, every hour, we take a little more from them." The resistance had learned to use the aliens' own tactics against them. When the Kethver used energy weapons, the humans found ways to redirect that energy. When the aliens used their sensors to track human movements, the humans learned to fool those sensors. Most importantly, the humans had learned to work together in ways the aliens did not expect. In a hidden bunker beneath the Australian desert, 16-year-old Alex Tanaka stared at lines of code on his computer screen. He had been trying to break into alien computer systems for months. Today he finally succeeded. "I'm in," he whispered to himself. Alex was part of a global network of computer experts who called themselves the Ghost Protocol. They were trying to hack alien systems and steal information. Most of them were young, like Alex. They had grown up with computers and understood technology in ways their parents never could. "Upload the virus," Alex typed into his secure chat. Around the world, dozens of other hackers received the message. They had spent weeks creating a computer virus designed specifically for Kethver systems. Within minutes, alien communication networks began failing across 3 continents. Supply ships lost contact with their bases. Ground commanders could not call for air support. For 6 hours, the mighty Kethver war machine was blind and deaf. Admiral Zexthel slammed his fist on the control panel. "How did primitive computers break our security?" "We do not know, sir," the communications officer replied. "Their programming is unlike anything we have seen. It does not follow logical patterns." "What do you mean? Human computer code appears to be ... creative, sir? It uses solutions that our programmers would never consider. Some of it should not work, but it does." This was becoming a common problem. Human technology was not as advanced as Kethver technology, but it was different. Humans combined things in ways that surprised the aliens. They used old technology with new technology. They mixed different types of systems together. Worst of all, they improved everything they touched. The first human-alien hybrid weapon appeared in the ruins of Berlin. Resistance fighters had taken a damaged Kethver energy rifle and connected it to a human power system. The result was a weapon that fired faster and hit harder than either technology could manage alone. "Impossible," said the Kethver weapons expert who examined the captured device. "This should not work. The power systems are incompatible." But it did work. Within weeks, hybrid weapons were appearing all over Earth. Humans took alien technology and made it better. They added human features that the original designers had never thought of. Colonel Marcus Webb held one of the new hybrid rifles. It was heavier than a human weapon but lighter than an alien one. It fired energy bolts like the Kethver guns, but it also had a human-designed targeting system that was more accurate. "How long did it take to build this?" he asked the engineer. "Who brought it?" "2 weeks," she replied. "We have a factory set up in the old subway tunnels. We can make 50 of these per day." Marcus nodded. The humans had learned something important. They did not need to build everything from scratch. They could take alien technology and improve it. In some ways, this made them more dangerous than the aliens themselves. The Kethver had spent thousands of years perfecting their technology. They made small improvements over long periods of time. Humans made big improvements in weeks or months. Dr. Sarah Chun received a message that made her heart race. A resistance team in South America had captured an intact alien transport ship. The crew was dead, but the ship was undamaged. "We need to study this immediately," she told her team. "This could change everything." The transport ship was hidden in a cave deep in the Amazon forest. Sarah's team worked for 3 days straight, learning how to operate alien controls. They studied the engines, the weapons, the life support systems. "It is like a puzzle," Sarah explained to her assistants. "Every piece connects to every other piece. But once you understand the pattern, it becomes simple." By the end of the week, Sarah's team had figured out how to fly the alien ship. More importantly, they understood how to build more of them. Admiral Zexthel read the latest intelligence report with growing alarm. The humans were no longer just defending themselves. They were starting to attack. "They destroyed 3 supply convoys this week," Veltar reported, "and they used our own weapons to do it." "How many ships have we lost?" 17, sir." "All destroyed by human forces using modified Kethver technology." Zexthel felt the fear growing stronger. In 6 months, these primitive humans had learned to build weapons that could hurt Kethver ships. They had learned to hack Kethver computers. They had learned to fly Kethver vessels. "Sir," Veltar said quietly, "the reinforcements from the hegemony will arrive next month. 50 ships with full crews." "Will it be enough?" Veltar looked at the tactical displays showing human resistance activities around the globe. Red dots marked successful human attacks. Blue dots showed Kethver positions. There were far more red dots than blue ones. "I do not know, sir," Veltar admitted. For the first time in Kethver history, an admiral was not sure his forces could win a war against a primitive species. These humans were not just fighting back. They were learning, adapting, and improving faster than anyone thought possible. The worst part was that the humans were just getting started. The hegemony reinforcement fleet arrived like a storm of silver death. 50 massive warships dropped out of hyperspace and took positions around Earth. Each ship was 3 times larger than the vessels in Zexthel's original invasion force. Admiral Zexthel stood on the bridge of the flagship as Fleet Commander Kethrin materialized on the communication screen. Kethrin was old, experienced, and had never lost a battle in 40 years of service. "Explain to me how a primitive species has held you back for 8 months, Kethrin demanded. "These humans are different," Zexthel replied. "They adapt faster than any species we have encountered. They learn from every mistake." "Nonsense," Kethrin said coldly. "You have grown soft. We will finish this war in 1 week." The fleet commander cut the connection. Zexthel stared at the blank screen and felt a deep worry in his stomach. Kethrin did not understand what they were facing. Dr. Sarah Chun stood in the main command center hidden beneath the Rocky Mountains. Around her, screens showed the positions of the new alien fleet. The numbers were frightening. 50 heavy warships against a planet that had lost most of its military in the first invasion. "They mean to end this quickly," said General Patricia Stone, the highest-ranking military officer, still alive on Earth. "We have maybe days before they begin a full assault." "Then we use what we have learned," Sarah replied. She turned to the communication officer. "Send activation codes to all resistance cells. Begin Operation Rising Storm." For 8 months, human scientists and engineers had been working in secret. They had not just studied alien technology, they had built something new. Something the Kethver had never seen before. In hidden factories around the world, humans had constructed their own starships. They were not copies of alien vessels. They were something entirely different. Human engineering combined with alien technology in ways that should not have worked but did. Colonel Marcus Webb climbed into the pilot seat of the Earth defense ship Liberty. The ship was smaller than a Kethver destroyer but packed with weapons that no alien had ever faced. Human creativity had found ways to make alien technology more powerful, more efficient, more deadly. "All pilots, this is Webb," he said into his communication headset. "Today we show these aliens what humans can do when we stop playing defense." Around the world, 200 similar ships lifted off from hidden bases. They rose through Earth's atmosphere like arrows shot from a bow. The Kethver fleet detected them immediately. "Primitive spacecraft rising from the planet," reported the scanner officer on Kethrin's flagship. 200 small vessels, no threat to the fleet. "Destroy them," Kethrin ordered without interest. The alien weapons opened fire. Beams of energy lanced down toward the rising human ships. But something impossible happened. The human vessels did not explode. Instead, they absorbed the energy attacks and became faster. "What is this?" Kethrin demanded. "The human ships appear to be using our own weapon energy to power their systems," the weapons officer replied in disbelief. "They are converting our attacks into fuel." Dr. Sarah Chun smiled as she watched the battle displays. The absorption shields had been her idea. Human engineers had found a way to capture alien weapon energy and redirect it to their own engines and weapons. The harder the aliens shot at human ships, the stronger the human ships became. "Begin attack pattern Alpha," Webb ordered his squadron. The human ships moved in ways that confused the alien gunners. They did not fly in straight lines like civilized spacecraft. They twisted and turned like living things. They used Earth's gravity to slingshot themselves around the planet at impossible speeds. Young Alex Tanaka, now 18 and serving as the fleet's electronic warfare specialist, began his attack on the alien computer systems. But this time he was not alone. Every human ship carried advanced hacking equipment built from stolen alien technology. "Virus upload in progress," Alex reported, targeting their weapon systems first. Within minutes, alien ships began losing control of their guns. The weapons would fire at random targets or shut down completely. Some ships accidentally shot at their own allies. The perfect formation of the Kethver fleet began to break apart as captains lost trust in their own systems. "Impossible," Kethrin said as he watched his fleet fall into chaos. "How are they doing this?" But the real surprise was yet to come. The first human ship to reach the alien fleet was the Liberty, with Marcus Webb at the controls. Instead of attacking the largest ship, Webb targeted a medium-sized destroyer. His weapons fired streams of energy that looked familiar to the aliens, but behaved in completely unexpected ways. The human energy beams did not just burn through the alien hull. They caused a chain reaction that spread through the ship's power systems. Within seconds, the entire destroyer exploded from the inside out. "Their weapons are designed to use our own power systems against us," the Kethver science officer reported in panic. "They have weaponized our own technology." Fleet Commander Kethrin finally understood what Admiral Zexel had been trying to tell him. These humans were not just using alien technology. They were improving it in ways that turned the aliens' own strengths into weaknesses. "All ships, emergency maneuvers," Kethrin ordered. "Do not let them get close." But it was too late. The human ships were already among the alien fleet. They moved like sharks through a school of fish, striking fast and disappearing before the aliens could respond. Dr. Sarah Chen watched the battle from her underground command center. The plan was working better than she had hoped. But the most important part was yet to come. "Sarah," called the communications officer, "the boarding teams are ready." This was the boldest part of the human plan. While some ships kept the aliens busy with combat, other human vessels would attempt to capture an intact alien dreadnought. The largest, most powerful ship in the HFY fleet, Commander Elena Vasquez, led the boarding assault on the alien flagship. Her team of 50 soldiers wore armor made from captured alien materials. Their weapons were human-designed but powered by alien energy cells. "Remember," she told her team as their ship approached the massive alien vessel, "we are not here to destroy. We are here to take." The human boarding ship was disguised to look like a piece of space debris. The aliens did not notice it until it was too late. The ship attached itself to the hull of the dreadnought, like a parasite. Elena's team cut through the alien hull using tools that combined human engineering with alien technology. They moved through the ship's corridors with a speed and efficiency that surprised the alien crew. "Humans on deck 7, came the panicked reports over the alien communication system. "They are moving toward the bridge." But Elena's team was not just fighting their way through the ship. They were also installing computer viruses designed by Alex Tanaka's hacking team. Every system they passed, they infected with human-designed programs that would give them control of the ship. Fleet Commander Catherine watched his tactical display in horror as red warning lights appeared all over his flagship. Human boarding parties were taking control of critical systems faster than his security teams could stop them. "How many humans are on this ship?" he demanded. 50, sir," came the reply. 50 humans are defeating a crew of 2,000. The answer came from the humans' use of the ship's own systems against the crew. As Elena's team moved through the vessel, they turned off life support in areas they had passed. They locked doors to trap alien security forces. They used the ship's own computer network to coordinate their attacks. "Bridge secured," Elena reported to Earth Command 30 minutes after the boarding began. "We have control of the flagship." Dr. Sarah Chun could hardly believe the reports coming in from the battle. Not only were human ships winning against the alien fleet, but they had actually captured the enemy command vessel. "How long do you need to learn their systems?" she asked Elena over the communication link. "Give us 6 hours," Elena replied. "My engineering team is already downloading their computer databases. We will know everything about their technology by tomorrow." Fleet Commander Catherine found himself trapped in his own command center as human soldiers took control of his ship. He watched helplessly as his fleet was torn apart by vessels that should not have been able to hurt them. "Admiral Zexthal," he called on his personal communicator, "you were right. These humans are not like other species. We need to retreat." Zexthal's reply filled him with a new kind of fear. "Sir, we cannot retreat. The humans have destroyed our hyperspace communicators. We cannot call for help. We cannot go home. We are trapped here." As the battle continued around Earth, both alien commanders began to understand the true horror of their situation. The humans had not just learned to fight back. They had learned to win. And now, with an entire HFY fleet to study and copy, they were about to become something far more dangerous than anyone had imagined. The hunters had become the hunted. 3 months after the Great Space Battle, Commander Elena Vasquez stood on the bridge of what had once been the HFY flagship. The alien vessel now bore human markings and flew under Earth's command. They had renamed it the Prometheus. "All systems ready, Commander," reported Chief Engineer Martinez. "The hybrid drive is operating at 120% efficiency," Elena smiled. The humans had not just learned to operate alien technology. They had improved it beyond what its original builders thought possible. The ship now moved faster, hit harder, and used less energy than when the HFY controlled it. "Take us to hyperspace," Elena ordered. "It is time to visit the aliens in their own territory." The human fleet that entered hyperspace was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. 50 ships that mixed human creativity with alien technology. Each vessel was unique, designed by different human teams who had found new ways to combine the two technologies. Dr. Sarah Chun watched from the command ship as the stars changed around them. After studying captured Kethver computers for months, human scientists had not only learned how to travel between stars, they had found ways to do it better than the aliens. "How long until we reach their space?" asked General Stone. 2 days, Sarah replied. "Our improved drives are twice as fast as the original alien systems." The plan was simple but dangerous. The humans would strike at the heart of Kethver territory before the aliens could send more fleets to Earth. But first, they needed to find the alien homeworlds. Young Alex Tanaka, now promoted to Chief Information Officer of the human fleet, worked with data stolen from the captured alien ships. The Kethver had tried to wipe their computers before the humans took control, but Alex's teams had recovered most of the files. "I found it," Alex announced as he entered the command center. The Kethver home system. 3 planets with a total population of 12 billion aliens. "Any defenses?" Elena asked. "Orbital stations around each planet. Maybe 200 warships total." But that is not the interesting part. Alex activated the main display screen. It showed star charts stolen from alien computers. Red marks indicated Kethver territory. But there were other marks as well, hundreds of them. "Each mark represents a species that the Kethver conquered," Alex explained. "Over the past 500 years, they have destroyed 47 different civilizations, billions of people." The room fell silent as the humans stared at the display. They had known the Kethver were conquerors, but seeing the full scale of their empire was shocking. "Some of these species were more advanced than we are," Alex continued. "The Kethver did not just defeat them. They wiped them out completely. No survivors." Dr. Sarah Chun felt a cold anger growing in her chest. The aliens had not come to Earth for territory or resources. They had come to commit genocide, just as they had done to dozens of other worlds. "How many ships do they have in total?" Elena asked. "According to their records, about 800 warships spread across their territory," Alex replied. "But most of them are stationed far from the homeworlds. They never expected anyone to attack them at home." The human fleet dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Kethver home system. 3 beautiful worlds orbited a yellow star similar to Earth's sun. Orbital platforms surrounded each planet like metal rings. Alien ships moved between the platforms in regular patterns. "It looks peaceful," observed Commander Martinez. "So did Earth before they attacked us," Elena replied coldly. The Kethver detected the human fleet immediately. Admiral Zexthal, who had been recalled to the home worlds in disgrace after losing Earth, watched the tactical displays with growing alarm. "Human ships," he reported to the Defense Council. 50 vessels of unknown design." "Impossible," replied Council Leader Vexstar. "Humans cannot travel between stars. They are a primitive species." "These humans learned to use our technology," Zexthal said. "They are no longer primitive." The human fleet did not immediately attack. Instead, they took defensive positions and waited. Elena had learned from studying alien tactics. The Kethver always attacked first when they encountered other species. But humans could be patient. "Send them a message," Elena ordered. The transmission reached every Kethver communication device in the system. Admiral Zexthal heard Commander Elena Vasquez's voice speaking in perfect Kethver language. "People of the hegemony," Elena said. "We are humans from Earth. You attacked our world without cause. You tried to destroy our civilization. Now we offer you one chance to surrender." The Alien Council leader laughed. "Primitive creatures demanding our surrender? Destroy them immediately." But Admiral Zexthal did not give the attack order. He had fought these humans for over a year. He knew what they were capable of. "Council leader," he said carefully, "perhaps we should listen to their terms." "Terms?" Vexstar was outraged. "We do not negotiate with food animals." The human response came quickly. Elena's voice returned to the communication channels. "We know about the 47 species you destroyed. We have seen the records in your computers. We know you plan to do the same to Earth. Our offer of surrender expires in 1 hour. What happens if we refuse? Vexstar demanded. Then we will do to you what you have done to others, Elena replied simply. The Kethver defense fleet moved to attack positions. 200 warships against 50 human vessels. The aliens still believed their superior numbers would win the day. They were wrong. The human ships moved like no vessels the Kethver had ever faced. They did not form neat battle lines or follow predictable attack patterns. Instead, they spread out through the system like a disease, striking at multiple targets simultaneously. Dr. Sarah Chun commanded the science vessel Newton, which targeted the alien communication networks. Her ship carried advanced hacking equipment designed specifically to attack Kethver systems. Jamming their military frequencies, she reported, their fleet coordination is breaking down. Meanwhile, Alex Tanaka led a cyber attack from his ship, the Digital Ghost. His team had spent months preparing viruses designed to paralyze alien computer networks. Uploading malware to their orbital platforms, Alex announced. Their defense systems are going offline. But the most devastating attack came from the human ships that targeted the alien fleet directly. These vessels used weapons that the Kethver had never seen before. Human engineers had found ways to make alien energy weapons feed on themselves, creating chain reactions that destroyed entire ships from the inside. Admiral Zexthal watched in horror as his fleet was torn apart. Human ships that should have been destroyed by Kethver weapons instead absorbed the energy and became stronger. Alien vessels exploded one after another as human weapons turned their own power systems into bombs. How are they doing this? Demanded Council Leader Vexstar from his fortress on the capital planet. They learned our technology and made it better, Zexthal replied. Just as I warned you they would. Within 6 hours, the entire Kethver defense fleet was destroyed or captured. The orbital platforms were under human control. The 3 homeworlds were defenseless. Commander Elena Vasquez sent one final message to the Kethver leadership. Your fleet is gone. Your defenses are offline. Your planets are at our mercy. Do you surrender? Council Leader Vexstar stared at the reports coming from his military commanders. In a single day, humans had destroyed a fleet that had taken the Kethver decades to build. The species that was supposed to be primitive and helpless had proven more dangerous than any enemy the hegemony had ever faced. What do you want? He asked finally. Justice, Elena replied. For Earth, for the 47 species you destroyed. For all the innocent people you murdered. Admiral Zexthal closed his eyes. He understood now what he should have realized a year ago when humans first showed they could fight back. This species was not like others. They did not just defend themselves. They struck back at those who hurt them. The Kethver had brought war to Earth expecting easy conquest. Instead, they had awakened something that was now capable of destroying their entire civilization. The tables had completely turned. The hunters had become the hunted, and the humans held all the power. Commander Elena Vasquez stood in the captured Kethver command center on the capital planet. Through the windows, she could see the alien city stretching for miles. 12 billion Kethver lived on the 3 home worlds, and now they all waited to learn their fate. The final alien fleets have surrendered, reported Colonel Marcus Webb as he entered the room. Every Kethver warship in the galaxy is now under our control or destroyed. Elena nodded but did not smile. Victory felt different than she had expected. Looking at the alien civilians in the streets below, she saw fear in their movements. They knew what their own people had done to other species. They expected the same treatment. Dr. Sarah Chun joined them at the window. In her hands, she carried a datapad containing the complete records of Kethver crimes. 47 extinct species. Billions of murdered innocents. 500 years of galactic genocide. The evidence is clear, Sarah said quietly. They destroyed every species they encountered. No mercy, no survivors. Complete extinction. And now we have the power to do the same to them, Elena replied. It was true. The human fleet controlled Kethver space completely. Their improved weapons could destroy the alien homeworlds in hours. 12 billion aliens could be wiped out as easily as the Kethver had wiped out their victims, young. Alex Tanaka approached from the communication station. At 19, he had become one of the most important people in the human fleet. His hacking skills had broken the alien empire. "Ma'am," he said to Elena, "we are receiving messages from across the galaxy. Other species have heard about our victory. Some of them are survivors." Elena turned from the window. "Survivors? I thought the Kethver killed everyone." "Not everyone," Alex explained. "A few species managed to hide small groups of their people. They have been living in secret for decades, sometimes centuries. They want to know what we plan to do with the Kethver." Sarah looked at her datapad again. "According to these records, there might be survivors from 12 different species scattered across the galaxy. Not many, but some." Elena felt the weight of responsibility settling on her shoulders. The human fleet had not just defeated the Kethver. They had become the most powerful force in this part of the galaxy. Every decision they made would affect billions of lives. "Bring me Admiral Zexthal," she ordered. The alien admiral was escorted into the command center by human guards. He looked older than when Elena had first seen him during the invasion of Earth. The defeat of his people had broken something inside him. "You wanted to see me?" Zexthal asked in English. Like many Kethver, he had learned human languages during their long war. "I have a question," Elena said. "When your people destroyed other species, did any of them surrender?" Zexthal was quiet. For a long moment, yes, he finally admitted. "Many of them surrendered immediately when they saw our power. Others fought until the end, but offered surrender when they could fight no more." "And what happened to them?" "We killed them all," Zexthal said softly. "The hegemony believed that different species could not live together peacefully. We thought the galaxy would be better with only Kethver in it." Elena stared at the alien. "Admiral, even the children? Even the ones who never fought you?" "Everyone," Zexthal confirmed. "We believed it was necessary for galactic peace." Dr. Sarah Chun stepped forward. "And now you expect us to show you the mercy you never showed others?" "I expect nothing," Zexthal replied. "I know what my people have done. I know what we deserve. But I will ask you to consider something." "What?" "Your species is different from ours. You have shown mercy to captured soldiers. You have tried to save wounded enemies. Even in war, you follow rules that limit violence. You are not like us." Elena walked to the window again. In the streets below, alien families hurried past. Parents held their children close. The young ones did not understand what was happening, but they could feel their parents' fear. "Colonel Webb," Elena said, "what was the final count of human casualties?" Marcus consulted his tablet. 2 billion dead on Earth, most of the major cities destroyed. Another 500 million died in the labor camps the Kethver set up. The numbers were staggering. The Kethver invasion had killed nearly half of Earth's population. Cities that had stood for thousands of years were now ruins. Entire cultures had been wiped out, and they would have killed everyone if we had not stopped them, Sarah added. Alex looked up from his communication station. "Ma'am, I have more messages from survivor groups. They are asking if we need help hunting down remaining Kethver populations. Some of them want revenge for what was done to their species." Elena closed her eyes. The survivors of 47 different species wanted the Kethver to pay for their crimes. The humans had every reason to want the same thing. It would be so easy to give the order, one command, and 12 billion aliens would join their victims in death. "There is something else you should know," Alex continued. "I found records of Kethver colonies on distant worlds. Maybe another billion aliens living in settlements far from here. They probably do not even know about the war." "Civilians?" Elena asked. "Mostly farmers, miners, researchers. People who left the home worlds to start new lives." Sarah shook her head. "It does not matter. They are all part of the same system that committed genocide. They all benefited from the murder of innocent species." "Did they?" Elena asked. Or are they just people trying to live their lives like humans were before the Kethver attacked us? The debate continued for hours. Some humans argued for complete extinction. The Kethver had shown no mercy, so they deserved none. Others believed that killing billions of civilians would make humans no better than their enemies. General Stone arrived from Earth with new reports. The planet is healing, she told Elena, but it will take generations to rebuild what we lost. The scars will never fully disappear. What do the people of Earth want? Elena asked. Justice, Stone replied. But they are divided on what justice means. Some want extinction. Others want the Kethver to work to repair the damage they caused. Elena made her decision at sunset. She called together all the human commanders and addressed them in the captured alien command center. We came here for justice, she began. We have defeated our enemies. We have the power to destroy them completely. But we also have the power to choose a different path. She activated the main display screen. It showed the Kethver homeworlds and their scattered colonies. The Kethver leadership will face trial for their crimes. Those who ordered and carried out genocide will be punished. But we will not become genocidal ourselves. Some of the human officers protested, but Elena continued. The civilian populations will live, but they will work. For the next 50 years, every Kethver will spend half their time helping to rebuild the species they destroyed. They will restore what can be restored. They will preserve the memory of what cannot be brought back. Dr. Sarah Chun nodded slowly. And if they refuse? Then we will enforce our decision, Elena said firmly. But we will not commit murder on the scale they did. We will be better than them. Admiral Zexthal, who had been listening to the human discussions, spoke quietly. You are giving us a chance we never gave others. Yes, Elena replied. Because we are not you. Because someone has to break the cycle of extinction that has plagued this galaxy. The final message went out to all human ships and all surviving species. The Kethver Empire was ended. Their war fleets were destroyed or captured. Their leaders would face justice. But their people would live, and they would work to repair the damage their civilization had caused. Some species protested the decision. They wanted complete revenge, but others supported the human choice. They had seen enough death and destruction. Elena stood on the bridge of the Prometheus as the human fleet prepared to leave Kethver space. They had work to do. Colonies to establish, refugees to help, a galaxy to heal the aliens had brought. War to Earth and faced extinction. But humanity had chosen a different path. They had chosen to be builders rather than destroyers. It would be a harder path, but it was the human way. The war was over. The future could begin.